joining in. So maybe the waste of time, the time the delay rather might probably be an advantage to us. Because I see that we have more people on the call today. Veronica, we can't hear you. You're muted. Unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon, ladies, and welcome to the final session of the WiLG Mentorship Program. It's such an amazing time. I know we started this program on the 8th of March, and we are here today on April 14th, and it's our last session. So one of the requirements of this mentorship program is that we work on a project as mentees. And today I'm just going to speak about a brief of that. So the main aim is for us to rise together, to work together, to collaborate, to reach a certain goal. And the idea of the fellowship is that the ladies are able to work together on a project that they feel that they resonate with. And I'm going to speak more about that. But first, I want to say congratulations, ladies, for making it this far. I know that it hasn't been easy. It has been weekend long, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. I know it has been very strenuous, but I want to thank you all for staying and giving it your all. I want to congratulate you all, and I'm super proud of you all who have taken out time to always join the session. Really appreciate it. There's no way that Will would have done this without you. So thank you very much for applying, and thank you very much for staying to the end. So it has been an amazing 6 weeks. We have had 12 phenomenal mentors. We have had 17 sessions so far. Today's is going to be the 18th session. And we have learned a lot of lessons. We have learned a lot of skills. We've been able to stretch ourselves and develop and learn new skills as well. I also want to say thank you to all our mentors. We have had amazing mentors from all fields, and they have shared with us their wealth of knowledge. They had encouraged us, they have charged us to take up spaces. If spaces are not there, to create our own spaces. They have also been a reflection, or like I say, how they're projecting on us to say, you can do it. We've done it. We're here. We're still on that path. It's still a growing process, and you can definitely do it. You can always reach out to any of our mentors on their LinkedIn profile. That's a good way to communicate with them, and they will definitely respond to you. So I also want to take this medium to thank them very much, because they joined this program without any payment. They took out their times to design the courses that they taught us, to make the slides, the time to clear out their schedules to come and speak with us. We do not take it for granted, and I want to say thank you to all of them. So what is our project delivery? We presently have 5 groups, and you've all been, I've seen some of you join the groups, and I appreciate that. How we've divided you in the groups have been shared. So you have time for your project delivery. So what we're doing is we're giving you a month starting from today to be able to deliver on your project. We know that, everybody has things that they're doing. So we're giving it a month long so that you can deliberate and you can see how you can work on your project. You have 5 groups. You can some of the suggestions is that you can meet on your group, decide a time to meet on your group. You can set a poll to say, we want to meet, what time is convenient for everybody. You can introduce yourself to your group members. You can create a group name, that's also, and then you can start ideating, share your ideas, identify what interests you want. You can also start writing your concept notes, some of the things that you want to do, just play around, and some of the projects that you want to run. So I want to state that the project aims to unite you all to collaborate in groups, working together from the inception of the project to the conception. So you want to be able to work together from ideation process to the completion and the delivery of your project as a group. The benefits that you get to share ideas, you get to work and collaborate with each other, and you get to start a project and deliver it, and then you get practical project management skills. This is good for your CV. This is good for your LinkedIn. LinkedIn has a space where you can click on your project, state what your project is about, give a summary of your project. You can also add links on your project, and then you can also add collaborators. So people that you collaborated with in your group, you worked on this project together. That would also bring you visibility. WiLG are also here. If you need anything from us, we're open to collaborating with you. So I set a few of the type of projects that you can work on, and it's not limiting you. This is just sharing ideas, and you can decide on whatever project you want to do. But we just want that at the end of the day, you're able to deliver on something. You can start a podcast series, you can host a webinar, a seminar, skills training workshop, breakfast chat for youth. You can have a Twitter space, X space now. You can write an article and publish that together. You can work in a policy document. Yesterday, we learned how to analyze and write a policy brief. You can do that as a group on a national issue. You can host an IG Live. You can start a social media campaign on something that resonates with you. You can hold a virtual summit, and the projects that you can work on is unlimitless. And I hope to see a lot of projects, and I can't wait to see what you all come up with. So other information, we're going to have a mentee spotlight, and within the week, we'll be sharing the link where you can go and share that document, and you can just fill in your details and your picture, your social media, and other things, information that we'll be needing. And then throughout the month, we'll be spotlighting our mentees on our platform, social media platform. So this is just a way of also giving you a platform and sharing what you're doing. It's exciting. We're also going to create a LinkedIn review and a one-on-one session. So I would share a calendar on the days that I will be free. It's mostly Saturdays. Saturdays, I know that I will be free. If you want late, so we can run Saturdays or Sundays, depending on how it is. But I'll share my calendar, and everybody can pick a date which is convenient for them, where we can do a LinkedIn review and we can have a one-on-one session with me. Yeah. And then you can have a one-on-one session with me. After that, we would have, of course, you've seen that I created a community group for us. So we're trying to build on the WiLG Women Mentorship alumni community as well. And we're a support system to each other. Please, if you have any program, if you have anything, post it on the group. We'll come to support you. Yesterday, one of our own did amazingly, Salvation Grace, the conversation, the human rights CAF. Please share and then we'll join you and support you. If you have a campaign you're running with your nonprofit that you're running, we will join you and support you. We're going to have a virtual graduation. That's after the project delivery. So after the 1 month project delivery, and then we'll have a graduation ceremony, and then we'll have certificates. We don't also want to stop this community. We're building an alumni community, so we'll still have various mentors come in once in a while to just have a conversation with us. Does anybody have any questions? I mean, we can take it after Bushrah's session, or we can still chat on the group. If you have any questions about this, just drop it on the group and I will definitely respond to it. So for today, we are going to learn about project management 101. And today we have the amazing Bushrah Balogun. We had her yesterday and a couple of weeks ago where she taught us an introduction to public policy. And yesterday she took us on policy analysis and policy writing as well. So today is very critical because she's talking about project management, because we're about to embark on our 1 month project delivery. It was really, really keen for us to say you have to learn a project management course. I'm sure even if you've done it before, you're having a refresher course. So I'm sure you all know Bushrah. Get your pen and paper and please listen to the session. I'll stop sharing my screen so Bushrah can share hers. Bushrah, thank you. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Veronica. Can you all see me? Yes, we can.
Yes,
Yes,
we
it
can.
seems like I feel like family now because I think this is my third session here, and for me, it's actually been an interesting time here, and I'm really glad, Veronica. First, I think before I start, I really just want to give you accolades. Well done. I know how much effort you've had to put in these days, and I know other things you're running, coupled with schooling and all. It's not been easy, but I'm very, very happy, and I'm glad that you chose to do this because the impact of investing in women cannot really be measured in our society. If for anything at all, I think women need to catch up on certain levels so that we can meet up with the standards our counterparts are operating. And I don't like to see myself as much as we have so many women doing so many things, we still have that gap in education due to the less number of girl child education, probably women that probably due to marriages and all have not had opportunity to probably engage in academics or any form of learning. So it makes us, so that makes leaves us behind to an extent. So I'm really glad you're doing this. And to all the mentees, thank you very much for signing up. You don't know what you're doing for yourself. You might just think you sign up. You wouldn't know the day this will be useful for you. Particularly, I'm happy I'm doing this. I'm happy to share the little knowledge I have. Sincerely, if you would even sometimes, I didn't even, when she approached me, I didn't really know how I was going to go about this because it's not something I do very often. But from here, Veronica, I would say you've spurred me to do this more. I'm glad for this opportunity. And I think I'm pumped now and I'm charged to want to do more. And trust me, today I'm making a commitment for you that every year, you all, so long this program is running, I will always be available for you. So well done, everyone. Yeah. So
Thank you,
quickly,
Bushrah. Thank you.
you're welcome. Quickly today, we would move into our session for the day. So let me share my screen so we can quickly go through it. I know you all are excited. Today is the last day of class. I know it feels. Yeah, so let me quickly share my screen. Hold on, please. I'm trying to navigate it. Hold on, I'm coming. Please just give me a moment. Let me sort that out. I hope my network is not lagging. I hope you can hear me well because I noticed that earlier.
We can hear you well.
Okay, good, good. Thank you. Uh, okay, yes. I think I can share now. Uh, yeah. Okay, let's move right into it. Screen sharing. Coming. I don't know. I think I have to clean the face of the screen. Sorry, hold on. I'm trying to clean the face of the screen. I don't know if it's clear or not. Window share. Can you see my screen now? Please confirm you can see it.
Yes, it's starting to. We can see it now.
Okay. Is it good now? Are we good now? Are we good?
Yes, it's just that you're not on presenter mode, but you're good.
I'm not on. How about now? I just switched to presenter mode. How about now? Can you see it now?
We can see it, but you've not pressed present. So it's just on the.
And
But
I'm
we can
seeing
see it.
like
If you
this.
present like this, we can see. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, wow, I'm coming. Let me stop sharing. I've stopped sharing. I think I'll
Yes.
just go back again to share again and let's see. Because it's actually showing on my end. I know it gives a better viewing experience with the other formats. Let me share again. So you can see it like this, right? The landscape view, you can see it.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, let me switch to So let me switch to
But we can see it like this. So if you use like this, it's fine.
okay, you don't mind?
Yes. But if you also click present up before
In
share,
fact,
there's present.
okay, before share.
There's
Oh,
present.
it's back again. God, why is it doing this? Okay, now I get what you're saying.
Okay.
That's on Canva, not on the app, right? Not on Google Meet. Is that not what you're saying?
On Canva, yes. On the Canva.
Okay, okay. Okay, let me share again. Uh-huh. So now it's not even allowing me share. I don't know why. Okay, yes. All right, so let me go to present. Hold on, present full screen. What is it? Why are you jumping? Present full screen. Okay. Uh-huh. We're good now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're good now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just trying to get my notes. Okay, just hold on. Can we start?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. So, good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going into the basics of project management 101, as I like to call it, because this is basically like an introductory class into what project management is about. Please excuse the error here in the management. That will be corrected later. Yes, so today I want this class to be as interactive as possible, and I'd like to hear from you on your screen. And if you can see your screen, there are two scenarios there. How do you plan your day? And second one is you're having a special dinner with family and friends. What do you need to do to have a great event? I need someone to please answer the first question, another person the second one. I need to hear your voices today. At least this is something you do regularly. So you should be able to say something. This is not a technical question. This is about your day-to-day activity. So please, can we have someone tell us how they plan their day? How do you plan your day? When you wake up in the morning, what do you do? How do you start? Do you just wake up and just basically tell us? I think I want to call on someone myself since nobody wants to volunteer. So I'm gonna call on Sarah. Please, can you unmute yourself and tell me how you plan your day? Are you there, Sarah? It's not a big deal. Just tell me, okay, if I wake up, I like to take a shower first. I like to lay my bed. I like to, except you guys don't want us to continue this class, because if you don't answer this question, it means you can't move into the next class. So the ball is in our court, please. And we're all excited. Today is the last day of class. We quickly want to get this. Yes, thank you, Sarah. Thank you for stepping up.
Morning, then I pray. After praying,
Sorry, can you raise your voice a bit? Just you can go close to your device so you're more audible.
okay. Okay, if I wake up in the morning,
Okay.
I, so after praying, then
Okay.
I lay my bed. After that,
Okay.
I begin to do house chores.
Okay.
So after house chores, I take my bath, and have my breakfast, and set out for the day.
Okay. So when you set out for the day, do you go to work? Do you have a shop? What do you do after you step out?
I go to shop.
Okay. So what do you do at the shop?
So I help my sister to do the POS business.
Okay. Okay, you help your sister with the POS business.
Yes, and again, maybe I have some, maybe like, maybe webinar or something. So I have a checklist that I used to, like my calendar will give me notification that this is what I'm having by 4, this is what I'm having by 7. So
Okay.
notify me of every activities that I've planned for the day.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sarah, for doing that. I think next, Juliet, I'd like you to please answer this for us. Alice, with from the profile on your screen and the look and the name, I want to believe you're Muslim, and we recently just had the Eid celebration. In fact, we're still in the mood because some people are still celebrating. Some people celebrate for days into the weekend, so into the following week rather. So this might sound very familiar to you. The second question says you're having a special dinner with family and friends. What do you need to do? So the last dinner, how did you host your guests? How did you have your Salah event or your Salah celebration rather with family and friends? So I think this will resonate more with you and it will seem more relatable considering the fact that you just finished a special celebration. So please, Juliet, tell us how would do this. So while you do that, I'm going to stop sharing because I need to quickly sort something here on the on the laptop while you do that. So I'll stop sharing my screen. But I'm sure you have the question and you understand it now. So please just tell me basically, how would you plan this event? What would you do to make sure that you have a great event, it wouldn't flop, and everybody have a good time? Thank you. Juliet, over to you, please.
Okay. Hello, sorry, I'm on the road actually, so I joined the call. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Juliet. It's fine, no
I,
problem. We wouldn't mind the background noise. Just do
oh,
your thing.
no problem. So, over the weekend, right, we had the Eid celebration. So, one of the things that we did was that we this year decided to make it better by a day to that day. We did like a to-do list of how the day was going to go, so that we don't end up tiring ourselves out, because in other is what we do is that we just cook, and at the end of the day we don't have time for ourselves. So this year's Eid, we decided to, like, okay, do a little cooking, and after then we said, okay, after Asri, which is the 4 p.m. prayer, we'll go out. So that's how we did it actually. Sorry, I was crossing the road though. I'm a little bit distracted. So
It's
I
fine,
had
Julia. Just like I said, it's fine. It's
Oh
okay.
my goodness. Hello.
Oh, sorry, please. I will
Yeah,
need
we
you to
can hear you.
focus. If you're
Just
actually
focus on
crossing the road,
crossing.
just focus on crossing
Focus on
first. When
crossing.
you're done crossing, I would even advise maybe you just stay as a spot and
On
finish
time.
answering your question
Yeah.
before you proceed on your journey, please. We need you to stay safe.
Yes, please. So if there's since she's on the road, if there's anybody that wants
I think
to,
she's even tried. She
yes,
started. We can wait for her to come back. Another person can take up that question. It might not necessarily be about Salah. You can talk about maybe an event you had recently. If you're a Christian, you can talk about Christmas. Just talk about an event. It could be your birthday. It could be a naming ceremony. It could be a wedding ceremony. Just tell us.
So I dropped the question on the group, in case you've forgotten. The question is, you're having a special dinner with your family and friends. What do you need to do to have a great event? So if anybody wants to go.
I think I might just have to call another name like I did. Um, Blessing. Please do this for us. I want to believe Blessing sounds like a Christian name. So let's say you're having a Christmas dinner. What would you do, Blessing? How would you plan it to have a great event? Please feel free to say it however you think works for you. There's no right or wrong answer.
Good
Yes.
evening, everyone. Even though I'm just joining in and I heard my
Really?
name.
Oh
So
wow. That was an that was an ambush. Sorry, blessing. But I want to believe
Okay.
it's something you can relate with. In short, we've not done anything technical yet. We're just in this,
Yeah,
we're just
actually,
having this space yet. Yeah.
okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So we have a great um dinner. First of all, I'd like to know the number of people that are coming.
It's your dinner, it's your event. If you want to call 50,
Yeah,
it's
this
your
was
choice. If you
thinking
want to
like
call a whole community, it's a
now.
choice.
Yeah,
How
I'm
would you
thinking
want
of
it to
like
be?
on
That's all
my
I
end
want
now.
to
The
know.
first thing I would need to do is to be sure of the number of people that are coming, then plan or prepare whatever dishes I want to make according to that number so that nobody will be left out. And I also add a little bit extra just in case there's a plus one from anybody. Then I'll make sure I have a plan B should in case I want it like I want a beautiful evening, there's no light. Maybe I have a gen, I might spare my gen so that because there's heat actually, so that people will not come and suffocate because they want to eat dinner. So so
I like
and
that.
I'll try to have a topic at the back of my mind. So maybe after we finish eating, we can actually have a little chit chat before everybody call it a day. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, blessing. That was a good attempt. Zuliet, are you ready to conclude your submission? Zuliet, is she there?
I
I
think
think
she's
she's
still on her way.
okay. It's fine then. We can just go ahead. It's okay. It's fine. Okay. So I think we can go back. Can you see my screen now? I should go back to sharing my screen, right?
Yes, you need to go back to share your screen.
Okay, let me go back to sharing my screen while I do that. Hold on. Veronica, I'll be sending something across to you. I'm going to send you the PowerPoint document of this slide. I'm on my laptop and it might go up soon. And
Yeah. Just share with
you know
me. Even if it's the link,
power
I can share
supply.
it.
So I've even shared the PDF with you now. So that in case I might just switch to my phone now. So that in case my laptop goes off, you can just share the document from your end. I've sent you the I've sent you the slides. That's the PowerPoint document.
Okay. Where?
Okay.
On my WhatsApp?
Yes. Yeah, WhatsApp, please.
Okay.
So let me go back to sharing my screen while we continue. So when it's time for me to switch, I'll let you know. Then we'll just take a short break while we do that. So yes, let's go back to our screen. Share, yes. So thank you for that. I just decided to do that so we can make this very relatable. So for blessing, I'm sure you know the topic we're talking about is project management, basically the basics of project management. So why did I ask this question? If you look at everything you've said, everything involves planning, right? One thing kept coming up: planning. You need, in fact, Zuliana said the first thing to do is to plan. And what are you planning towards? You're planning towards your, let's look at the dinner now. Like Blessing said, she's planning towards ensuring that that event is successful. So that event itself, it's a project. From the moment you thought of the people to get making a budget for them, considering the numbers you want to invite, to you planning and thinking about electricity and making plans for alternative energy source like using the generating set, to the point of you talking about a games later whereby after the event they can actually have a good time. That is everything you've mentioned is part of you planning, executing, and the end more like closing. How do you want to, like Bessie talked about how she would like to close our event is having, after they've had a good time, they can have games at the end. Then Sarah talked about how she plans her day. From when she wakes up to her laying her bed, that's how, that's more like you executing. So she already has the plan in her head. She already knows what her day is going to be like. So she has planned ahead that I'm going to wake up at so time, but this time I'm going to lay in my bed. Then the next thing, if you look at it, it's like actually like a sequential activities back to back happening. So it means you already know what you're going to do next. Then next you go to your shop. When you go to your shop, is another activity on its own. That's another project you're managing your sister's business. It means you have to ensure that the clients are satisfied. You have to ensure that anybody approaching your business are actually happy, you satisfy them. You have to plan towards how you offer your service. It means you must have charged your POS machine. You have your receipts ready that you insert into the machine so that when they collect money, they can have their receipt, and also for proper documentation. Maybe you have also your record book where your record is, so you're able to take note of how much sales you made, and you can also give your sister feedback. Basically, everything everyone have talked about is project management. And what am I trying to say in essence? Everybody is a project manager because every day of our life, we're actually managing a project. Maybe it's our personal life, personal lives, maybe it's at work, probably is at home, even cooking a meal is actually project management because you have to plan, you have to make plans for the portion of each recipe, probably the seasoning you add. You have to you have to measure the things you want to use. They have to make plans to take it. These are the things I have to put. You have to get some things that probably there's no cucumber in the house. There's no carrots. You have to get them. Then you probably need to get eggs. You make plans and then executing is at the point where you're cooking, you're mixing up everything at the end. And at the end of the day, you also have to ensure that you clean, monitor everything, ensure that the kitchen is in good shape, and you actually make it clean. Then you serve probably yourself, you eat. Basically all this is projection. That's exactly what I want to achieve from this exercise. And thank you all for participating in this. So, introduction to project management. A project is a unique endeavor and usually includes a set of unique deliverables, just like Sarah mentioned. Sarah's unique, and what Sarah is doing is very peculiar and unique to her. And everything she does all through the day is actually she's delivering on something. So deliverables are the results you achieve from something. So Sarah's deliverable first thing in the morning is that she lays her bed. She does the deliverable because she makes her house clean. She has performed the task. Then she goes to the shop. She gets to the shop, means that's another deliverable, meaning she has an obligation, she has a responsibility, and she's serving towards that. She's gone that, she's taken herself to the shop, she gets there, she makes sales. That's another deliverable. So that's Sarah's set of unique deliverables and deliverables. It could also be a series of tasks that needs to be completed. So to reach a desired outcome. I talked about the party. So you have to, we talked about how you make the plans of your party blessings so that you can achieve your outcome. What's the outcome you want for this? You want to have a great event. You want to cater for people. You want them to have a good time. Basically, that's what project management is about. So I think we can actually relate with this now with those examples. So project management itself now is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, techniques to meet a project requirement and achieve desired outcome. So if you look at application of knowledge, let's say Sarah's task at the shop is to run the POS business. If she doesn't have knowledge of how to use the POS, she might not be able to do anything. If she's not skilled in maybe record bookkeeping, she might not be able to take record. If she does not have the tools and techniques, maybe the tool is like the POS machine she has with her, and the technique is maybe how to run it. She knows probably the code to use, what exactly to type in for her to achieve what she wants to achieve. Next, day-to-day activities of a project manager, planning and organizing, So as we're going through this, I want you to keep reflecting on those examples and relate it to them so it gives you a better understanding of what project management is. I know everybody talks about project management all the time, and people think it's actually it sounds so, it sounds so technical. I think it's actually something very, something probably in a field that's very difficult or something you cannot relate with. Meanwhile, it's something we do every day of our lives. So planning and organizing, managing tasks, budgeting and controlling costs. Planning and organizing, we create for planning and organizing, we create project plans, we organize activities and meetings and documentation. So let's say the way Zuliat wanted to plan a dinner. So it means she talked about she's going to plan. Then there are series of activities. It means she's going to the market. She's getting this. She's buying maybe balloons. The kids are going to be around. She's getting maybe she's getting the refreshment. Those are activities. Then also if it's a big event and she needs more hands, means she has to have a meeting maybe with her friends or her own crew that are going to help her manage the event, so they can decide on how is this going to go, where are we putting this, how are we arranging this. And if it's for probably business purpose, you have to document, probably because you would probably need to give reports, or even personally you need to document. Let's say maybe the budget. You want to know how much you spent at the end of the day. That's part of documentation. Then managing tasks, you coordinate the tasks, you manage the quality and the risks, and communicate your milestones. So let's say you're doing this in a big group now. It's not maybe for personal purpose. You have to coordinate the tasks. Even if for personal purpose, so you have to ensure that the rice is being cooked well. You ensure that the jollof rice is not soggy. Whoever is making it has to make it good. The typical Nigerian jollof. Party jollof, they have to ensure that probably the plates are washed and clean, the tables are set and all. Then you also have to, I talked about party jollof now, manage the quality of what you have. And risk, you also have to plan ahead. What if something happens? Let's say you order a cake, and what if at the point of maybe delivering the cake, something happened, how would you improvise, how would you manage it? They also communicate. So communication and milestone work mostly for larger groups, where you always at every step of the way you have to communicate to your stakeholders, or we'll get to that point. You have to communicate. That's the people you're working with. You have to communicate to your team as you move along, then carry them along. Budgeting and controlling costs, you keep the project on track and within budget. You don't, especially when it's not, you have to be prudent with your spending and ensure that you keep everything within that budget. So probably what you've planned, I'm spending 10,000 for this. Then is also another skill you have to learn. You would have to learn. So you keep it within budget. Make sure that you get good pricing. So you have to probably get good pricing. So that's where negotiation probably might come in. We get to the point, we still get to that part where probably the negotiation skills might now help you. You're able to get good prices for the things you want to use, the resources, and you get a good price and keep everything within budget and ensure that your project is right on track. Let's say you have a timeline to deliver. Key concepts and terminologies. I mentioned earlier, we have stakeholders. You hear some things like scope, schedule, budget, risk, talk about risk, the quality, communication, and resources. So stakeholders are individual or groups who have interest in the project or affected by its outcome. So stakeholder, let's say you're working for a big company now, a stakeholder will be the sponsor of the project, maybe the person that owns the project or the company that owns the project, or probably the investor in that project, and also your own team members that you're working with to achieve the results. So it means whatever happens to that project affects this set of people. So they are stakeholder in the project. It could be the manager in the company, it could be the HR, basically maybe the staff of the company and the staff of your own team. Everybody's affected is a stakeholder. Then the scope, some of all products, the services, and the results to be provided by the project. So mostly when you're having a project, it's let's say you're doing it for a big company, they'll have to be the one to tell you the scope, what they want to achieve, how they want to achieve it. So there's something we call in scope and out of scope. In scope is ensuring that everything is within what they've designed. Do you understand? So at times you have people who probably come to tell you, maybe in the course of your project, that's why at times they talk about risk management, do you get, and maybe unforeseen circumstances sometimes. So once you're having this, you always have to make your plans. So you also have to give gap and allowance. So that's why it's good sometimes for project manager to be flexible. We also get to that part where you look at the quality, the responsibilities or the skills the project manager needs to have. you know, at this point, out of scope is when someone just springs up and tell you, oh, maybe you had made plans for 10, for maybe probably for 10, for probably a construction room and a parlor, and the person says, no, now I want to make I want to actually add, I want to add a probably a pool at the side, and this was not part of it. You know, it means it's going to alter your budget, it's going to alter your design skills and all. So it's always very good when you're talking about school for you to ensure that things are clearly spelled out with you and your stakeholders so that it does not affect the outcome of your project. Schedule a plan that shows when task activities will be performed. So you have a plan, you could have a Gantt chart, give a timeline from when to when you want this to happen. Then you decide how you want it, when you want to achieve this, so that at least you know that you have a timeline you're working towards. Okay, we need to do this in 2 months. We want to achieve results in 2 months, and you're going to walk through that plan you've made. Then the budgets, the funds for the project. So you have to, when you're doing this, you have, like I said, you have to really be sure that you're getting the right figures. You take your time to plan this, because you don't want at the end of the day you get a different figure and you go. That's why you also have to forecast, let's say, market prices. You don't want to go back. You don't want to go to the market and come back and start telling your funder that something there's extra 5 naira today. Do you understand? And also at the same time, you can also communicate with them in case you foresee that, to say, okay, this is the tentative budget of what market prices are, but probably you might get this lower or cheaper. We'll definitely let you know. Maybe you leave that open at that point. Then risk, uncertain events or conditions that may occur. You know, I mentioned it earlier, unforeseen circumstances. So you have to plan towards it. May actually be positive or negative on the project objective. A positive one might even then be saying, okay, we probably have planned for something and we probably want to even remove something from the project. See, that's not costing you anything. It's just to adjust. Quality, the degree to which the project fulfills requirements. So the quality of what you deliver, that's your deliverable, how good it is also very key. Communication, I think, is what, excuse me, communication, I think, is one thing that is very, very essential in project management. You do not want to assume things. You don't want to assume things. You want to communicate clearly. You don't want to leave any gray area. Communicate, be direct, let people know where probably how things need to go, where you would need help. In fact, that's why it's even good to communicate at intervals, so that, as you know, I talked about communicating your milestones. So as it's going further, the stakeholders are aware, and if there's any changes or anything that needs to happen, you can factor that in at that stage. And also there's terms about people, equipment, funds, completing the project, and the rest. Core skills of project managers, interpersonal skills. So you need to have to learn to build your relationship. You know, you're going to be dealing with the team, how to lead your team, how to ensure that you need to also ensure that you carry everybody along. You need to ensure that they feel. Sorry, I think at this point, Veronica, I can start sharing. I have to switch now.
Someone has a question, so.
Oh, so should we take it, or should we leave it till the end? Should I just note it? So quickly run through this and take it at the end of the class, please.
Okay, however you want.
Yeah, I think, please just not your question, please, or drop it in the chat box. So we'll take it. All right.
Chat box. Okay. Okay,
it's in the chat box already. They should just note it. So while we let me stop sharing, Veronica, so you can start sharing. I think I'm on is it the activity? No, sorry. I'm on the skills of a project manager. That's the 6th page. So I've stopped sharing. I'm just gonna switch to my phone now while you. Okay, Juliet, just hold. Please just Juliet, write down your question. We'll take it at the end of the class. Let's quickly run through this because of time. I'll drop off the call now and join in my phone in a bit.
Okay, so maybe I will take over. So for those who just joined, at the beginning of the session, I had stated a breakdown of our projects. So now we have 5 groups, And sorry, I'm trying to share my screen. We have 5 groups, and you're all supposed to deliver a project. So you can work within your group, you can form your group name, introduce yourselves to each other. And then at the end of the day, we're giving you 1 month to deliver your project. And after that, we'll have a graduation ceremony virtual, and then we'll be able to issue certificates. But the main aim is that you're able to work on a project from the beginning to the end. And that's why today Bushrah is talking about project management. So you ideate on a project. What do people want to do? Do you want to host an IG live? Do you want to have a webinar where you're talking about women issues or children issues or national issues? Do you want to write a policy paper? Do you want to send a submission to the House of, the House of the National Assembly? They're doing a reform. Do you want to send that? So whatever project you want to do, we want you to be able to work in a group. Yeah, Bushrah, I was just giving them a breakdown of their projects, depending where you arrive.
Okay, it's fine. So we can continue, right? Screen, please. Okay, yes, core skills. Yeah, that's what we are. Core skill. No. So let's proceed. Core skills of project manager. How I mentioned how you will need to build a good relationship with your team or with your clients. Talking about the people you're delivering the project. You also have to be empathetic with your team. You recognize their efforts. Ensure that you have a strong team able to deliver. You're always there to encourage them. That's your job. You're always there to push them, to empower them so they can deliver expected. Then delegation, also you have to learn to delegate, because sincerely you cannot do this alone. I know so people have, personally I used to have problem delegating because I just used to feel, no, you can't do my, like, especially if you're a bit of a perfectionist and you like to have your thing done. So you just feel, no, I want to do this myself. But sincerely, it wouldn't hurt people that, of course, people that are competent. That doesn't mean you should just give it to anybody. Just allow people to delegate tasks and trust that they can deliver on it. Yours will just be to manage, see that at the end of the day you achieve that the aim of that project is achieved. Prioritization, you also which of your activities or deliverables is more important, which do you need to, some things you probably you can always leave it till the end, some you need to prioritize and deliver on them. Maybe you have a particular time, so you always have to know how to prioritize. That's why you have your plan. Maybe you have your you have your plan laid first, this has to go next and all. Effective communication, we talked about that earlier. Communicating, you're not leaving, there's no gray areas, you're defining, nobody's assuming things, nobody's left in the dark. People know exactly what they need to do. Then when there's a challenge, you communicate, and so that at the end of the day you're not thinking someone is, their mind is not even there when you're thinking, oh, they should know now. No, communicate. For me, I usually say it's even better than under communicate. It's better to keep harping on something when they need, again, when there's a need. Then next is enabling decision making. Also in your group, you also have to, I mentioned empowering your group earlier as part of your interpersonal skills. sure that you know you can your team tickets can deliver. You make decisions with them. You don't say because of the project manager you have the better, you have a better idea. It's just like a CEO, and the different expertise. Allow them when you're making decision. Allow them, be at the table, sit on the table together to decide on things. Something knowledge of something, and someone might probably have of it somewhere, something they've learned about that
Bushrah,
particular.
sorry.
Okay, someone might think to learn about that particular thing somewhere. Add
Bushrah,
something. Yes,
sorry, it's lagging behind a bit.
my network, right?
Yes.
Expected to. It is about to rain here, so I wouldn't know if
Oh,
that was messing up.
so
Do you want
sorry.
me to
Okay.
log out and come back again?
No, no, no.
Is
That's
it
fine.
better?
Or do you want to? Okay, it's fine. Let's see. Let's see.
So should I put up my video and let's see?
Okay, yeah, you can put on your video. Let's see if that works. That helps.
So how is it now? I think it's a network.
Okay, it's fine.
It's fine. Okay, good. So next, strong organization. You have to ensure that you're well organized. You have to ensure that you can organize things that you're able. No, you have to have that. Like you say, eagle eye, where you expected. Things are going unexpected. Everybody's doing well. Their tax and everything is well organized. Then next is negotiation. In terms of your budgeting, you have to know how to negotiate so that you can get a good deal for your client. Flexibility, you have to learn to be flexible. At times, some clients, some at times, some unforeseen circumstances might come up, and you need some new things might arise, and you need to solve them. It has to be this way. You have to learn to be flexible so you can accommodate the need and your clients. Conflict management, of course, there are people gather. There will always be conflict at some point, so you would have to probably within your team members or with your clients and ensure that there's peace. And lastly, emotional intelligence. It means you have different set of people in different characters, so you have to learn to be tolerant. I talked about empathy earlier. Then you also have to learn to. It's next, Veronica. So guides the team and ensures they have every support that they need. The director of each member of the team. So it means you're not, if you have a large team, you're probably not the one that teams you have. Maybe there's a sub team that reports to someone that reports to a large team. If you have a small team, and just you managing directly. Then managing costs, and especially if you're managing cross-functional, and it requires you to one clarify the goals. So you have to ensure that each exactly what exactly they're doing. Maybe this thing is for designing, this thing is for web training, this thing is for probably social media marketing. Let that be clarified. Get people with the right skill sets. You don't want to say you're doing a social media campaign and you don't have this. It's going to make your work flop. You won't achieve the quality you're meant to achieve. Then also measure. Also talk about communicating it to your people so you know how much you're growing. So from when you started to the point you are, how much has been done and how much still do to achieve the aim of your project. They recognize effort. People like to be seen, people like to be heard. So when you have team members that their efforts, there's a particular team that have done some exceptional thing. Please appreciate their. Then you can create incentive. For me, even bring some sort of subtle, healthy competition awarded for particular activity. Everybody wants to bring their best foot forward. Everybody deliver well so that they can also be seen and they can also be recognized. Then collaboration. different teams, different people, just to achieve your desired results. Next, I talked about organization earlier as one key skill you need to have. The more organized you are in your actions as a project manager, your team is in their thinking and their actions. So consider yourself as the you get you're the one directing, you're the one leading. Do you get? You determine how your project goes. In fact, a lot of things that for your energy, your commitment, your determination, your resilience. If you're actually pulling your weight, you see that naturally people around you to in few cases or exceptional cases where so in most cases if you're a team lead, your the success of your group and the pace that they move would largely be dependent on how effective you are. So if you're moving at a particular pace, they will have no option than to move along with projects. So you have to ensure that that's very key. Knowing how to that's the project manager. Next. So a project life cycle is the direction of your projects from beginning phase builds upon the other and helps you give a structure to your project. So there's a we'll get to that. So this will help you as you're planning your project because it might end up probably putting what you're supposed to put first last. Talk about you actually need to know what comes first, what go next. So expectation. So as you're moving on, you know what to expect at this stage. Your team members also know what's expected of them. It also helps you plan success. Then you have to execute your tasks effectively and address any issues. So when you have what to do, you know when to execute, you know what exactly to do at what time. She knows that she leaves home. She knows that she needs to go to work. So she knows the next she leaves home. She knows, and when she gets to the shop, she knows how to begin the task is achieved. And then, so at the end of the project, when you're probably presenting to record the lessons you learned, so that it can be beneficial to you in next where you made a mistake, where you need to do better. Next, this is the face of a project. Of that diagram, it says project life cycle. Then you see initiation, right? That's when you make a plan of what you want to do. And I want to cook. I want to have a dinner. I want to cook for people. Then next, as you're planning, you decided already to say, okay, we want to host a social media or let's say girl child education. It means then you initiate the process, and at that point is when you talk about getting people that are skilled, then you decide then how you want to go. Then the next, do you get how you plan? How do you want to be? We need to get maybe we need to reach out to them. We need to write letters to them. Maybe then next you go into production. Is more like execution. Execute the tasks. You do after you set a date and time you're planning. And you host the campaign. Maybe maybe form of a what do you call a panel on the speak on the event, and everything goes as planned, and everybody have maybe within your team, maybe you have people that are tweeting, you have someone that is moderating the session, you have someone that is doing the introduction, you have someone that is ensuring that good experience, maybe someone that is taking questions, someone that is reporting for you and taking to go to closing. Closing is at the end of the day, you all come together to say, okay, well, how did we do this? What did we achieve? How did we fare? And all that's where you're closing your project. You come to the end of your project. Then mostly some will tell you it has 4 phases, but there's 5. 5 in the sense that when you close a project, it's not enough that the project is done, but it's not really enough. There's still something again after that, which we call landing. Landing is where you go back after your project, you give it time to say, after the achieve, did this work again? Did this did the people probably that the project we did in a school? Okay, let's even leave, maybe let's say look like a physical project now. Maybe you initiated a project in the school. So it means you go back after 3 months. How is this project faring? How are they using the library? Maybe it's the library now. How are they using the library? How are they using the computer? What impact has it made? How many students can now read? Literacy skill has been improved. How many students can now read well? How many students are even using the books? So you also look at the impact of your project. That's what we call that. After 3 to 6 months, you can now say, okay, yes, we've landed this project in progress. And landing can take, you decide how your landing can be. And decide what to, the landing can be the next 5 years. We keep in that point you're not talking about monitoring and control, or monitoring and evaluation, and you may like to call it. That's the part where there's a concept we also look at in this regard, which is called retrospective. That's a chance to note the best practice more effectively the next time. So it means once you're done with your project, that's why you record your every step of the way. You take record. You all come back. You can now come back to say, okay, we're done. So let's review. What did we do well? Some people do, some people don't, but it's always very good to have this. So what did we do well? What didn't we do well? How did we, in what area did we do very well? And how can we perform? How can we do more? Next, please. An approach in project management. I wanted to leave it at that point, the last part, but I felt it's going a bit technical. But maybe for people that would be interested in project or as a career, or just want to take the course to maybe take courses and actually go deeper into it. And I feel these are just basic things. So there are methods and approaches you use in project management. Project management methodology is a set of project through its life cycle. We talk about the life cycle. So the method you use, but there's some projects are actually complex. Not a regular, I want to cook a building project. You're handling maybe a website development project. These are bigger projects, or maybe you're in a non-profit. You're handling the execution of a big project, maybe certain methods and approaches. So the method helps guide your project throughout the project. Project manager, it guides you throughout take the task to complete and the principles for managing your project generally. So these are concepts in project management. Probably, like I said, when you want to advance it, you hear things like agile, you hear things like waterfall. Please. Next. So the approaches you have in project management, you have the linear one. It means the previous phase or task has to be completed before the next can start. So it's like a defined process, when it's a linear, something direct. It's just straightforward. You know what to do. Oh yeah, blessing, nice. I like that Scrum. Yeah, we'll get to that. You see what I'm saying? Some of you already know about project. Probably already in this field. Maybe picking interest, hearing these things. They like I said, they sound like big grammars, but when you break it down, you see that there are things you can actually relate to. I used to be like you at the point before I picked interest in project management and started learning and started paying attention and started taking courses. Like, okay, so this is what, because sometimes when I hear Scrum, like, what is Scrum? What is Agile? So these tech people, they just straight at your face like Scrum, Agile, So back to our approaches. So linear is something that is direct, something that is something that is direct, something you can, like, it's linear. It has maybe it follows a particular step. It's not There's no overlapping responsibilities that you have to do. It's just maybe one thing. If you're, let's say, building, it says a linear project will work well for a project like a building a house. In order for a house, all you need to do is get your maybe surveyor, get your builder, then they plan, they start building, they maybe get your architectural work, you start building. This is how you want the building to go from beginning to the end. There's no overlapping responsibility. That's what linear approach is. Then the iterative approach is where you have maybe you're doing like a TV series. A TV series, it requires different roles. You have the cast, the crew, the photography, cinematography. You know the way it is. When you watch a movie and at the end of the movie they show you the cast and crew and you see different groups and the role they play. The different overlapping responsibilities come there because there are different people doing different things at the same time. So and again, it's also more flexible because there are different phases you'll be trying. So it means you can always decide, no, this can come this way, this can come like this, depending on how you want it. So you see, like I said, the phase will be overlapping and they're happening at the same time simultaneously. And like I talked about TV series, and maybe let's say you're also doing like a web, maybe you're developing probably a curriculum for a school. It means that someone needs to do this part, another person needs to do this part. We're all doing it at the same time so that we can get to our end goal. Types of methodology, yes, but go ahead back. So I mentioned waterfall, I mentioned agile, right? The phase of waterfall project lifecycle follows the same standard project lifecycle. That's what's called. So waterfall is basically your linear or your direct kind of project. So let's say construction project now would probably use a waterfall methodology where it's just very direct. Do you get? There's nothing overlapping. There's no series of tasks that is probably that needs to come together at the same time, and you need to you need to do multiple tasks at the same time. So that's waterfall. The phase of a waterfall project life cycle follows the same standard project life cycle. No, basically talk about like you're cooking now. From beginning to the end, you know that this is this leg, next, and this level, you plan, initiate. Very direct. That's the waterfall approach. From your initiation to the planning, executing, managing, completing, closing. Do you get? Waterfall approach is used when the phase of the project are clearly defined, thank you, or when the task to complete before another can begin. So it means you have to do one, finish one before you can do another thing. Back, please, I'm not done. No, back to the methodologies. Back, please. Back. So agile approach is often that often have it often has many tasks you're doing together at the same time. Basically, you're just like your iterative approach. Um, that's what agile is, just as good as an iterative approach. Next, please. Then your types of methodology. Of course, I talked about agile. Agile is one part you would hear often and often and often. So agile project phases overlap and tasks are completed in iteration. So that means you have different tasks coming up together at the same time, or also what do you call, in a Scrum kind of pattern. So was it towing I mentioned? So this is where Scrum comes in. So the Scrum here is actually like a method under Agile itself. So Scrum is mostly like a sprint kind of activity, and Scrum is a form of Agile. You see, it's a type of Agile. So when here Scrum is actually a particular type of Agile. So you will learn more on the course you get, especially when you're focused on agile. You actually learn more about it. And also the Scrum itself is also more something that's done more like in sprints. So what we call sprints are short chunks of time, usually 1 to 4 weeks, where a team works together to focus on completing specific tasks. So let's say, hey, talk about movie series. Maybe the storyteller will do maybe 1 week or 2 to 3 weeks to complete their tasks. As storyteller is doing their own, probably the people the people scripting the story, writing the story. Then you probably have your people designing the sets. As they're doing those ones are doing theirs, maybe they have particular time to do that. No, basically you have people doing the same thing at different activities at the same time. So that's what we call sprint. So that sprint is actually basically Scrum. That's what you achieve with Scrum. And Scrum is a type of agile. Next, please. Back. Okay, next. Yes. So industry knowledge you need. They're just basically tools, templates, and project management style. So I'm sure you hear about some tools and management they use, planning and scheduling software. You have templates, you have calendar, you have workflow. Mostly, even this, you have things like your for documentation. You have ClickUp, you have things like Tailor. You have no different you have different what do you call it like that, you have different tools you can actually use. Then collaborating tools like your email, your dashboard, and also collaborating software you can also use in this regards. Then documentation, you have files, you have your Google spreadsheets, you have your Google Doc, things where you can just easily just make your plan and decide what you want to do. You can also even use your Gantt charts for designing your timeline and all. Then quality assurance tools, evaluation, productivity, trackers, how you can write your reports and the likes. Next. Yes, thank you for listening. Now to the question. Monica, you can stop sharing. Thank you, everyone. Let me see if I can put on my video now. Yes, it's question and answer segment.
So if you have any questions for Bushrah, please, this is your time. Okay.
Someone had a question earlier. Was it Juliet? Yes. Please, ask your question.
Actually.
Is she there? Or maybe she's not settled yet.
Maybe
So
she's
she was
still
on
in
the
transit.
Yeah, she was in transit earlier. I was just going to say maybe she's not settled yet. Okay, Juliet, if you can hear me, I think you can just type the question. I'll drop it in the chat. Yes, then I would respond to it.
Okay.
Any other person? Is there anyone that has any question? Yeah, the floor is open. The floor is yours. Please, anything that comes to your head, that comes to your mind.
I mean, let me.
It could be about the project you're about.
That's what I wanted to ask you now. I'm just like, okay, if they were not going to ask, I would love to ask, because I mean, that's something that they would also need. So what type of things do you suggest? They have 1 month to run their project. How do you suggest that they do it? What can they do? They are presently in their group stages now. They're joining the group. We have a few people joining the group. I think that let me just digress a bit before you answer, but something that you spoke about is that the retrospective part of it, where even after the project, you go back and sit down and deliberate, what did you do and what can you do better going forward? So for us here at WiLG, this is our inaugural cohort, and next year, by the grace of God, we're also going to run another one. So we're also going to do the retrospect of what worked for us and what didn't work. How can we make the program better, and how can we get more people to engage in the program? Do we streamline the program by reducing the number of participants, or what methods can we do? So even for us here at WiLG, we're also trying to do that retrospect to say, how was the program? What can we also include in the program to make it better as we go along? So I just wanted to put that part. But my question, I mean, still goes like, what do you...
I'm glad you fixed that part and you're already offline it. Okay, to the question, what can they do? Okay, knowing that this is a women-led and women-focused project, and basically it's targeted at investing in women. So I think based on the scope of this program, it will also be good to focus on how we can cascade our knowledge, our expertise, our skills to other in different fields or other areas that can also benefit other women. So it means that they could decide that they want to run different projects that probably will be centered on probably advancing the SDG goal, that's gender SDG goal. Sorry, is it 4 or 5? I'm always mixing it up. Gender
5.
gender, yeah, 5. Thank you. Gender equity, and also I think education is 3, right? Don't mind me, please. I refuse to memorize these goals. Veronica, education is what goal? Please help me check. Thank you. So, linking to education and gender equity, try to do those two. I think those, and also poverty too. So those 3 goals, I think, might actually come 14. Thank you, Blessing. And also, we could even look at climate change, because there's also how climate change, affects intersection of gender equity and climate change, and how climate change affects women and girls. We realize that in some communities where probably the women are the ones that um, probably they could not, they have certain activities they do, but because of climate change they cannot get on to their activities anymore. Because of the impact of climate change, they can't probably okay, thank you, they can't probably go to, probably, I don't know, probably fishing or something. They can't do that probably because the water has, oh, thank you so much. I think this would help. Thank you, Veronica. So that's quite thoughtful of you. So, they can't probably, let's look at climate change now. They cannot, maybe it's affecting them, maybe their occupation. And because of that, they cannot be productive anymore. And we know that some communities or some homes, women are the breadwinner. It also means that affecting their family is also leading to poverty. Then we also look at maybe, let's say, for example, again, maybe areas like cooking, there's certain environmental hazard, do you get, that they are prone to, and because they do not know, due to climate education, the gap in climate education, they do not even know that those things are affecting them. Maybe you're burning rubber, you're inhaling, you're burning rubber to cook. Some people you see them using this bedroom slippers that made from styrofoams, and these things are very, very hazardous. The chemicals they emit, and they're inhaling carbon monoxide. So because they do not have that climate education, you get, they do not know. There's also I talk about, okay, there's also technology too. I'm talking about education now. There's a lot of gap in terms of digital literacy for women. We need more women in STEM. So I think that's another big space you might want to explore. It could be an advocacy, it could be it could be collaborations with other. We have organizations like Tech Her. We have Veronica is in the tech space, so you have her, she's your go-to girl. You have her Andy there. She can direct you to some of these tech organizations. Do you get that? Doing things around technological skills, improving tech skills for women, how they can also benefit, probably how you can collaborate with them. Maybe they can help train some women. It could be a virtual class, or maybe their tech skills they can recommend for women to benefit from, so that they can also improve their income and livelihood. It could also mean that maybe basically digital literacy is what they need to know, um, you know, and you just want to collaborate with them in that area. We could also look at um, the very popular topic we're always talking about every time, gender-based violence. Maybe there's Dorothy in Germanzi Foundation, many of them like that, working around GBV. You might want to collaborate with them. Maybe go to a community, talk to certain women about um, about what do you call it, about GBV. Maybe they don't even know the danger. Some of them probably have been abused. Some abuse is not just physical. There's emotional abuse, there's psychological abuse. Some of them do not even know. They don't even know how it affects them, how it affects their overall well-being, how it affects their outlook. And gradually they're just, it's affecting them, and gradually it just seems like your life is just you're diminishing, and you're just wasting away, and you do not even know. He said people punch you, and also there are people that are even facing physical abuse and they find it hard to leave. Some will tell you because of children, Different stories like that. At the end of the day, they beat them to death, leave them with, what's the essence of you, the children you decide to choose, you decide to wait for. Well, at the end of the day, you're being murdered, and those children, you leave them behind. Then who's going to be the mother of your children? It's not better for you to leave on time so that you can actually be the mother of your children, and you can take care of them, and they grow. You nurture them yourself, since you care about them so much. There's also issue on rape. I don't know these days. I think for me, I think the energy on rape has really dwindled. I don't know, because maybe they're not raping people anymore, or just that people are not talking about it. Do you get? In short, it just to be as good as just collating information for people to say, okay, these are resources of places you can report to. Do you get? And you put it on, maybe on, you can collate information and send it to your coordinators to say, okay, we've done this. We want you to put it out there so that on your page people can come and access those information. Do you get? It could then, few other, you can also, and from there you share it to your other groups. Do you get? You share, because some people, I know, I mean, sometimes people just come time late in the night. Sometimes, Bushrah, please, some cases happening in this area. They don't know what to do. Then I direct them. So imagine there's a place where they can even come to access these resources. This, do you get? It could another project you could also do is talking about women in politics and decision making. I'm sure we all know the gap we have in women, the number of women we have in parliament. Nigeria is about 4% of like the countries in the world. It's so bad that the number we have, I think this year, I don't know how many, what's the percentage again? Sorry, the particular number. I know in the Senate, I think we have about 7 of them. Yes, out of 109. So you can imagine, out of 109, you have 7 women. So when it comes to issues that's pertaining to women or affects you, who do you think is going to fight for you? Is it men that don't even understand, or the men will be the one deciding on your behalf? That's when we had some bills, some 5 gender bills that was thrown out. Of course, it's going to be thrown out because you don't have majority that would speak for you. Because now the people are sort of selfish. Human beings are naturally selfish. It's not a bad thing. I think it's even a concept in economics. Tickets. Yes. People think about themselves first. So the men might feel like, how is it benefiting them? They might not really be interested, even though you try, of course, you always try to lobby them and all, but still, it take a while. But imagine you have more women. So it just means that you're looking at the barriers. What are the barriers to women in politics? You could even write an article on this. You could write an article, you could propose solution. Do you get? You could do an open letter. Do you understand? You could decide to say, okay, I want to mobilize, I want to talk to women on the need to join political parties. Mobilize women, put them together in your constituency, tell them the need, why they need to join. It's not about you, it's about us. Because at the end of the day, if we don't have more women in that space, it means the opportunities we get is going to be limited, our voices is going to be limited, our representation is going to be limited, and our needs probably not be met. And for me as well, I still maintain one thing, and I always say it: a nation that leaves half of its population behind cannot move forward. How do you want to develop? There's so many women out there, they have the brain, you're not even utilizing it. I'm sorry to say, I've worked in National Assembly before. I've sat with some of I've sat in meetings with some of these lawmakers, and you look at the quality of people you see there, you're wondering, God, even at that level, when I was not as smart as this, I would probably be on that seat. Ticket in terms of their competence, in terms of capacity, and in terms of character. And I think more than anything, what we need now is we need the right set of leaders with these 3 C's: competence, capacity, and character. That's why you're here. That is why you've signed up to be here. That's why you've chosen to be here. Because why? You want to do things differently. You want to change the narrative in leadership generally, like narrative of women decision making, narrative of women doing great things. Do you understand? So we need more people. I'm not a tokenistic person, please. I'm not about just put a woman there. No, please. We need to have the right set of women that have the competence, the character, and the capacity to do the job. And I want to believe by now, Nigeria cannot tell me we don't have these women. We have them. But there's so many barriers preventing women to come in. So this is also, and imagine when we talked about policy yesterday, do you get policy addressing certain issues? Do you understand? So when you don't make, you talk about menstrual policy, who is going to enact these policies? Because the people there might not necessarily see it as a big deal when I'm talking about period poverty. The man is thinking in his head, how is period poverty affecting us? Sincerely, and I'm telling you practically, how is it affecting? He might not even think of it. How is it affecting us? But that's why our job is we need to keep bringing it to their faces. We need to keep bringing it in their hair, in their ears. We need to keep harping on it until they listen, until they do our bidding, because we are a stakeholder in this country called Nigeria. We're a large stakeholder. We consider about half of the population as well. So we have a large stake as well. Then there's also girl child education. This is another area again. You could decide to say you want to run a campaign, or you want to even gather data on we don't even, if today, do we even have an appropriate data? Maybe you have people in different states to say, okay, please, I want to reach out to this state. Do you know, some of you might even have the link or the resources. Thank you, Juliet. I'm even coming there to period poverty. Do you get? You get? You could decide to say, oh, what's the data of girls that are out of school? You might decide to talk about writing a policy brief. You can try to write a policy brief on how to improve girl child education and also tackle out of school children in Nigeria and make some recommendations in that regard. You already have the step. You have the keys now. So my dear, please, my sister, just run with it, do your thing. These solutions are not enough. I'm not gonna lie to you. We keep doing it every day. I can't count NGOs, but the problem are still there. And I'd probably be there until we die. Because our population is increasing, we keep blowing up. It could also mean economic empowerment program for women. I don't mean giving them money. Economic empowerment could be, do you know, have someone thought of the fact that some of these market women, they don't even know how to do proper record keeping. They don't even know the tools to use. It could be you bringing a set of market women together, using your financial education to say, okay, this is how you do record keeping. Do you get? This is how you save your money. Do you understand? This is how you can maximize your money. This is how you can maybe investment programs or platform. Do you get? It could also be you saying, okay, my own is I want to share, I want to just gather opportunities in terms of maybe online opportunities for education for women. I think this is what you get. I want them to. This is where you can. And make sure that this project needs to have impact. It doesn't mean that you gather it and not keep it. No, it means that you're sharing it. People are assessing it. You have your metrics, maybe a dashboard. You have a dashboard where you look at your results. You look at the metrics. How many people access this link? How many people are using it? There's just so. In fact, I feel like there's so much to do when we start talking. There's period poverty. Thank you. Period poverty means, do you want to advise them on menstrual? Do you want to go to school and talk to them on menstrual management, menstrual hygiene management? Do you want to? Some of you probably might even have the link. Maybe you have an organization you can write to and tell them, oh, please, well, I want to do this. I want you to sponsor me. Some of you even have uncles that are, big spenders. Maybe they have the money. They don't even probably know what to do with it. They don't know where to put it. Some of them are philanthropists. They like to put money in charity. Propose these programs to them. Tell them this is what you want to do. Do you understand? And of course, you recognize their efforts. I talked about recognizing efforts earlier because people want to be, except the person tell you, I want to be anonymous. It could be you go to community, it could just be maybe 50 or 100 pads. It could be one very corner in one community. You go there, you give them the menstrual pad, talk to them on menstrual hygiene, ticket. It could even be reusable pad. Maybe you know someone that makes a reusable pad. You cannot take the person there, say, teach them how to make reusable pad and give them some. So it means that you're leaving them with an economic empowerment. That way they can make that pad within themselves. They can source the material and be selling to themselves. So, ladies, yes, I've said so much already. I think there's so much really you can do.
Thank you so much, Bushrah. Bushrah is a powerhouse. If you left, Bushrah would give you many ideas and talk, and you see how passionate she is about it, and you see how it just came from within her. So, Bushrah, thank you so much. I mean, as you were speaking, I just remember when we were doing our community service for KIF and how we had to ideate and how we had to raise funds. We wrote letters to people. So whatever you want to do, we're here to support. If you want to write letters, we'll write for you, we'll send it for you, we'll email, whatever project you want to do. If there's somebody that you want to bring on your Twitter space or your webinar, we can write the letter, send you out letterhead, you write it, you said, once you're learning this and you just imagine you go to an interview and they ask you, have you ever done project management before? You can. So I want to say,
Monica, I would advise that introductory letter is compulsory. Anybody you're reaching out to, just ask first for that letterhead paper. It gives it weight and it gives it credence, and they'll take you more serious. And use that letter to be signed by the management and the WiLG management, and you can use it. That way, they know what you're doing is substantial, and they might give you the audience you need.
Thank you very much, Bushrah. I would shoot my shot for some of our mentees who would like to be mentored by you. You know, just a one-on-one. I would reach out to you for that. Thank you very much. I know you can't reject our request, so thank you on their behalf. Thank you so much for joining us. 3 sessions of this mentorship program and sharing your wealth of experience. So officially, this is the end of the inaugural cohort of the WiLG mentorship program, and I thank God that we have been able to come this far. So yay! And congratulations to the ladies. Our next
Congratulations, everyone,
for giving us this conversation, and yeah. So thank you, ladies. We look assist any way that you want. If there's anybody you want to reach out to or you want to connect with, please let me know, and I would the mentees. I want to say thank you, Bushrah, from the bottom of our heart. We do appreciate you. We wish you all the best in your endeavors, all that you do. And we'll invite you for our graduation ceremony, definitely, when it's time. We'll invite all our mentors for our graduation ceremony. Thank you very much, everyone. It was really nice meeting you
before
all.
I leave, as I give my last remark, please, I need those. I'm recording my screen. I just want those reactions you guys give to come up.
Yay!
I just want those reactions. Yes, let me
Plenty. Thank you, Bushrah. Thank you. We do appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ladies. I really appreciate. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh God, the love is much. You guys shouldn't make me cry, please. I'm getting emotional. Thank you. So yeah, ladies, well done.
Thank you
And like
much,
she said,
ladies.
please pick your seriously. You wouldn't know how much you will learn from these things. I'm saying all these things now. You see me saying, like Veronica mentioned, we did a program, very intense program where we did this project. Now you wake me up in the middle of the night, I can tell you how to execute a project. I'm in a big school now, and we doing something like a capstone project. I'm the one leading my team, and everybody always wondering, should I do this thing that effortlessly? I always feel like, superstar. They do not know the pain. We went through to learn these things, and today, yes, and one thing you've learned, one thing I always say, it remains a part of you. Nobody's ever going to take it away from you. Tomorrow you're also in this space like me, teaching people, also sharing that knowledge. So please take it serious, and I wish you all the best. Good luck, guys. Bye-bye. Thank you. Yeah, bye.
It's no force. Bye, Bushrah. We don't want it to feel like it's a program. It's itself. You can still go back and watch the sessions and catch up and join. Please join the groups, and we'll be communicating from then. So thank you very much, Bushrah. See you at our graduation ceremony.